UFC 286, Edwards versus Usman 3 just took place. I'm going to go through the full card recap, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event. Give me my full card reaction, starting with the early prelim opener of Veronica Hardy versus Juliana Miller. I'm never going to pick Juliana Miller again. She's absolute fucking she's dog shit. Fuck her. She ruined everyone's parlays, probably, because everyone picked her, because it was Veronica Macedo. Veronica Hardy, whatever. It's Macedo. Let's be real. Because we can't get used to someone. We can't really get used to someone changing their last name right away. Yeah. But she ruined all parlays. She's shit. Obviously, we all picked her because it's Veronica fucking Macedo that had 3 years off. Why would we expect her to win? She's old as well. I don't think she's old. I think she's actually quite young, but yeah, but she loses 30-27. She has no clue what she's doing. She's a UFC. She's the tough UFC tough winner, but I don't know. She's not good. Veronica Hardy, I'm just gonna say, just kind of out hustled her in the for 3 rounds in the grappling, and she tried going for subs off bottom, but she's shit. Good stuff from Veronica Hardy. She wins. Hopefully she can stay active and not have another 3-year layoff. We move on up the card. Let's get on to the real fights now. Jai Herbert versus Ludovic Klein. I don't mind this being a draw, but you got to give me credit. I picked Jai Herbert to win. Everyone picked Klein to win, even though he's quite overrated in my opinion. You know, he took Devontae Smith to a split decision. But yeah, good stuff from both guys. Jai Herbert, I think he kicked Klein in the groin lots of times, and he got a point taken away. Either way, he was winning that fight, and he should have won, in my opinion. I don't mind a draw, but he was gonna win, if you know what I meant. If you know what I mean, he was gonna win that. Yeah, it's unfortunate for Jai Herbert, very, very unfortunate. But oh well, good stuff from Jai Herbert. But yeah, just kick to the groin sucked for him. But I'm going to take that as a victory, because if he didn't do that, it doesn't really change the outcome of the fight. It might affect Klein, but everyone was picking Klein to catch him. Jai Herbert's underrated, and I got this one correct, so good win from Jai Herbert. We move on up the card. Joanne Wood versus Luana Carolina. I was worried Wood would lose, but she looked good. She won. A little bit of IQ issues in her game. Yeah. Because at the end of the round, she kind of threw Carolina to the ground. And she could have landed some shots. It's not like she's going to armbar you off bottom. You should know this if you ever watch Carolina's fights. Joanne Wood. But she won the fight. It was close, but she just had the bigger moments that kind of secured it for her. And yeah, good stuff from Joanne Wood. She saved her job, saved her career, and she can move on to the next. We move on up the card. Jake Hadley versus Malcolm Gordon now. Jake Hadley looked great. He looked great. You know, Muhammad Makayev struggled with Malcolm Gordon, but Hadley, and he eventually got the finish in round 3, I get it, but Hadley just finished Malcolm Gordon easily with a body shot and then ground strikes. Big shots from Jake Hadley, and he got an easy win. So good stuff from Jake Hadley. He's finally pulling together a few wins. Don't know what's next for him. Maybe do him versus Bruno Silva. But good stuff from Jake Hadley. He won. Very good stuff from him. I don't know what's next. Oh, yeah, Bruno Silva. Let's do that. Bruno Silva coming off win over Tyson Nam. Do that. Good win stuff from Jake Hadley. Move on up the card. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Dusko Todorovic. I went with Christian Leroy Duncan. I thought he'd get the job done here. And he did win. And he was winning. He's so good, Christian Leroy Duncan. I get it. Dusko blew out his knee in ACL, and it's unfortunate. But before that, he was landing good stuff. I wish we saw more of a fight here, but good for Christian Leroy Duncan, I guess. He won. Yeah. At least he got the UFC jitters out the way. And he kind of got all that out the way. But, yeah. Good stuff from Christian Leroy Duncan. Sucks for Dusko. He might get cut from the UFC now. Or they just keep feeding him to these prospects. But, he won. So good stuff. That's all that matters. We move on up the card. Lerone Murphy versus Gabriel Santos. Lerone Murphy won, I guess. Round 3 won. Round 1, Gabriel Santos won. Round 2, Murphy was winning. But Santos had an armbar attempt at the end. And that should have been counted. And he should have arguably won that. Lerone Murphy's not that good in my opinion. Kind of fluked a knee against Makwan Amirkhani. And he arguably lost this fight. Gabriel Santos looked good. And I thought he was good coming in, but I thought Murphy would win, and he did win. But, yeah, good stuff from Lerone Murphy, I guess. He move on. Up the card, Muhammad Makayev versus Jafel Filho. First round, Makayev was just doing his thing, getting the takedowns. Filho doing all right, though. But round 2, it was close. Makayev. Muhammad Makayev. What's it called? It could have been either way, but Makayev arguably could have won it in hindsight. But Filho was looking good. In round 3, I know people want me to talk about the leg lock attempt. Jafel Filho had the leg lock attempt. He did. He had the leg lock attempt. And, what's it called? He did have the leg lock attempt. And Makayev is tough. Very tough, and he's savage. Very savage and tough from him. But he, it was tough, but he's not a good performance again from Makayev. He needs to improve. Kind of lucky we had this. But he needs to fucking improve. Because he's not that good. Like, I think he can beat Matt Schnell if they ever fought, or these guys. But the top guys, like Moreno will expose that. Pantoja will. Kara France will. Makayev just had one good fight against Cody Durden in his debut. And now he's all the talk. Like, these fights he's had aren't impressive. It was impressive for him surviving that, but offensively, not great. And then he eventually got a rear naked choke, I get it. But Filho, he was about to get a finish. I'm about to get a finish. He's about to get a finish. Adrenaline dump. So good stuff from Muhammad Makayev, I guess. We move on up the card. Yanel Ashmos versus Sam Patterson. Good stuff from Ashmos. Patterson's shit. Not that good. I thought he'd win easily, but it was completely opposite. Ashmos got the win. First round KO. Yeah. Good stuff from Ashmos. Yeah, good stuff from him. Got an easy win. Patterson was fighting the ref after, which was kind of funny, but a bit scary as well. But Ashmos won it, in my opinion. We did win. He won by first round KO. Got that one wrong. We move on. Chris Duncan versus Omar Morales. Round 1 was alright, back and forth, but either way, Duncan won the last 2 rounds. Just out grappling Morales. Some judge scored at 30-27 Morales because they're fucking deaf. They're not deaf. They're fucking brain dead, and they should fucking open their eyes. I don't know. I think some of them are at least I don't know. I can't see much stuff on YouTube because YouTube wants to be kid friendly. Fuck them. Fuck YouTube. Hopefully the warehouse blows up. Anyways, don't demonetize me. But Duncan won. He won the fight. Who cares? Duncan shit. He won't ever be anything, but he won. He got rocked early. If you're that one striker that's at least Vyacheslav Borshev's level, you'll KO this guy because he's shit. We move on. He won against Morales, though, but I don't know. He's not good, and it's lightweight, so he'll never be anything. I reckon he loses his next fight. We move on. Up the card, Jack Shore versus Makwan Amirkhani. Jack Shore had trouble early. Makwan didn't go for a finish right away, but Jack Shore was smart. He didn't go on his knees, risking getting choked out. He went on his back, gave up position. Makwan just gasses, though. Jack Shore eventually got on top and eventually cinched in the neck and choked out Makwan Amirkhani, but he just gasses. Good win from Jack Shore, but Makwan I don't know. You'd have think he fixed on the cardio, but he just keeps. It's like he gets he gets the choke or he loses. You know, it's just I picked exactly that really. But he went for a rear naked choke, went for an arm triangle, like I said, but yeah, he just Jack Shore. Not good win from Jack Shore. Very good win. He's back, but McQuan needs to work on his cardio. I don't know if he can. I think it's just genetics. I think he was just born with shit fucking cardio. I don't think he can fix it. He needs to fix it. It's the same problem with Edmund Shabazian. These guys need to fix the fucking cardio. All the Shabazians more so fix his style because of it. I think his cardio is still a bit bad. But McQuan needs to work on other things. I don't know how he gasses. How does he gas? We'll move on like right now, but how does he keep gassing? Don't go for chokes every time. Land a few leg kicks. Land some good shots. Go for a big KO this time. Don't go for just anacondas. You know, it's just too one-dimensional. If you can't pass McQuan Mirkani, you're kind of shit. Like Mike Grundy. You're gone for a reason. We move on up the card to the main card. Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze. Dolidze landed shots early. Landed some good shots. But yeah, Vettori just poked at him. Round 2 was clearly Vettori. Round 3 was close. Roman eyeing that right hand. Roman could get the takedown. Vettori stuffed all of them. Vettori didn't shoot one takedown, so good for Marvin. You know, if he didn't win this one, it was just, you know, like, come on. But he passed the IQ test. And, you know, in the build-up, I was saying, like, it's just an IQ test. But he passed it. So good for Vettori. Maybe do him versus Cannonier next. Yeah, but Dolidze's not good. Jack Hermanson must have, you know, Jack Hermanson, like, what the fuck? He must be hitting himself right now. Why would you shoot? Vettori won, though, so good stuff. Round 3 was close, but Marvin was outstriking him. It's a good decision. 30-27 is a bit ridiculous, but Marvin can win. There's maybe an argument for Roman, but not really. Vettori won it. We move on up the card. Jennifer Maia versus Casey O'Neill. Easy win for Maia. They both couldn't get takedowns at each other. You know, O'Neill tried to shoot it on Maia, couldn't work. Maia tried to shoot it on O'Neill, couldn't work, and it was just not a stand-up fight. And Maia was the better one. I told you, Maia is good. She beat Marina Moroz, who's kind of good. She beats Casey O'Neill, Torrillo's 2 hype trains. Good stuff. O'Neill's not good. I've been saying this. She's all hype and talk. Never backs it up. So yeah, good stuff from Jennifer Maia. Very, very good stuff. We move on. Maybe do her versus like Amanda Hebos next or someone. Maybe do that next. Her versus Amanda Hebos. She could win. She maybe can get a KO. Maybe move on up the card. Gunnar Nelson versus Brian Barberena. Good stuff from Gunnar Nelson. Very good stuff. Couldn't get the takedown right away, but eventually got it with 9 seconds. At the end of the round, he eventually got the takedown, but then at the end of the round, he was having some good elbows before, but with 9 seconds left, he turned into an armbar. Barberena had nothing. He tapped. Good win from Gunnar Nelson. I like Gunnar Nelson. You know, he's on a bit of a win streak. He beat Sato in his last fight, Takashi Sato. And now he beat Brian Barberena, who just he has such a weakness in the grappling. You know, he can beat Robbie Lawler and Matt Brown, who'll trade in the pocket with him. But, and he can beat Darian Weeks, who is just garbage. But, the grapplers, RDA and Gunnar Nelson can beat him. He can beat Lawler and Brown. But, come on. Good stuff from Gunnar Nelson. We move on. Up the card. Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. I'm going to talk about this one quickly. I'll move on to the main event soon, but I don't know about the decision. I rewatched this one twice now. You know, when it was live, I didn't mind it. You know, it was either way. Gaethje can win it, whatever. Good stuff, Gaethje. I'm going to say something right now. Gaethje looked good. He looked very good. He shocked me with his performance. You know, he landed shots, had a good round 3, definitely won round 3. I think Fiziev won round 2. Here's what I say. Round 1. I think round 3 is Gaethje. We all know that. Not 10-8. One of the judges are stupid for that, though. Stupid. It wasn't a 10-8 at all. It's not like they're acting like he rocked. Like, people get knockdowns twice in rounds, and that's not a 10-8. You know, like, but Gaethje just was landing shots. I bet you if Fiziev wasn't bleeding, it wouldn't have been scored at 10-8. He got a takedown on Fiziev at the end, but listen, Fiziev I think won round 2. I know the damage thing. You know, I know he cut on his eye, but he was doing too much Fiziev, in my opinion. Round 1, Fiziev can win as well. Sorry I had to talk before that, but round 1, I think Fiziev won as well. Just barely. I don't think this was a robbery. Like, there's an argument for Gaethje winning. I just think Gaethje, like, he was landing shots. I think round 1's the argument for both of them. I think round 2's clearly Fiziev. Round 3's clearly Gaethje. Round 1, Fiziev. They both had their moments in round 1, but when they're in when they were in the pocket, you know, Fiziev was landing his shots. It's where Gaethje was like missing sometimes, landing here and there, but I don't know. I think Fiziev slightly had that, even though he thinks he lost. I think he did win that, and I think if he rewatches it, he won that. Either way, Gaethje versus Poirier should be next. They both agreed. Let's do that next. Jones Miocic card. Let's stack that shit. Let's go. I've seen recently they had Jack Della Maddalena and Vicente Luque on that card in the works for that. So let's stack that card massively. And they had Bo Nickel, Trace Young, Gore, Ferguson versus Lead 2. Let's do it. Volkanovski, Yair, co-main event. Let's do it. We move on. Sucks for Fiziev. He can fight Gamera. We move on up the card to the main event. Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman 3, the trilogy. Leon won. Good stuff from Leon. We have talked about the fight in my full card. Not full card. This is the full card recap. But my full fight reaction and breakdown. Leon won. Good stuff from Leon Edwards. He'll fight Covington next. And Usman, he can fight Dricus du Plessis. Africa, Cape Town. If Usman wins, he can get one more for a title shot. And he's there. Boom. Pereira or Whitaker. Or whoever's champ. Just not Adesanya. You know? That'd be good for Usman. But yeah, he's not... Oh yeah, Usman, I didn't mention this. He didn't retire like I think he would have. But if he stays at welterweight, I'm really curious on what he's going to do. He's going to have to win a lot in a row. At least 2. At least 2. Realistically, 3. Yeah. Good stuff from Usman. No, good stuff from Edwards. Sorry. Usman did alright, but Edwards is the better fighter and he's the king. Maybe do Usman Chimaev. I think that's not a possibility that could happen at 185. Cause it's a fight. It's people have wanted to see that title fight at 170 before. We never got it. So why not do Why not do Usman Chimaev at 185? New weight class. Let's see it. Like, come on. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Full card recap. And yeah.